Right now you're going and watching Lancaster County Democrats' Watchful Citizens show, and we're interviewing Danielle Conrad, who is running for re-election for Legislative District 46, which is more or less northwest and a little bit of northeast Lincoln,
That's right.
including Havelock.
That's right.
And you were talking about unmet needs, and the one of them that just jumps out for me and seeing in the paper is what's happening to our children that are in the child welfare system.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that at all?
Sure, I'd be happy to, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to, because this is another issue that we have to be very attuned to and very vocal about. These are some of our most vulnerable children in Nebraska who don't have a lot of strong advocates and powerful resources and interests behind them to secure political attention and priority. And in recent times, in case people are curious about the context, the state of Nebraska, through the Department of Health and Human Services, has made a decision that we're no longer going to be in charge of our child welfare service systems, but rather moving to a system of privatization for those services with a variety of different community providers. And without going into the benefits or problems with privatization as a general issue, I think what's wrong and what we're seeing right now is, if in fact governmental systems are going to move to a reliance on the private sector, which can be a very good thing in many instances, it has to be done in a way that ensures efficient transition and ensures an understanding of the human condition involved. And unfortunately, it's become clear in recent days and weeks and months that Nebraska's Department of Health and Human Services has not done a very good job in terms of providing oversight to these private contracts and ensuring that those same resources I was talking about a minute ago that are intended to get out to those who need them aren't getting stuck in the system. And it seems that may have precipitated some of the failures within the private agencies who were the beneficiaries of those contracts. The state wasn't getting their payments out fast enough, and that caused financial trouble for those agencies like Cedars and Bisonet and others, and they simply could not afford to continue down that path. And once that reality became evident, the state didn't have a plan in place for how to deal with those kids who need help and those foster families who step up and are a critical part of our system, and the employees for those private agencies that now aren't getting their paychecks, and their health insurance will soon be cut off. And it's shocking to me.
It's really shocking to me too.
To be honest, and to read media reports about foster children being placed in juvenile detention centers while they look for appropriate placements and otherwise is abhorrent, and it must be investigated and it must be remedied, because those vulnerable foster children need to be in safe and loving environments. They've already been through a lot. Yeah. And to now have the state fall down and see these huge gaping holes in our social safety net is another example of why we need experienced leaders there to provide real accountability.
Well, I certainly hope that you can go and bring that accountability.
Sorry, I got kind of passionate about it.
I'm glad that you are. We need to be passionate about our children, and I think this is a huge issue that needs to be talked about more.